County on News 5 tonight. Questions about Teller County Sheriff Jason Mikesell and a private security business he runs on the side. A business that employed off-duty deputies from El Paso County and the Colorado Springs Police Department.
Now, it raises some important ethical questions and has resulted actually in internal affairs investigations within both those agencies. Reporter Pam Zubak with the Springs Independent sharing what she found with News 5 as I followed up today with questions of my own.
He told me so that
The more than 2-month-long investigation by Pam Zubak in an article entitled Side Hustle details the dealings of Sheriff Mikesell's business, I-Zero LLC. And according to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs investigation, focuses on security, surveillance, government contracting, and training, and employed several members of the Colorado Springs PD and El Paso County Sheriff's Interagency Metro Vice and Narcotics team. And that Sheriff Mikesell told Internal Affairs and Zubak some contracts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Our goal is to bring attention to this arrangement to let the voters and the taxpayers know that their sheriff has an elaborate side business that involves a network of all of these other law officers whose behavior working for him has been called into question by the very departments they work for.
I reached out to the sheriff's office today for an interview. They chose not to comment tonight, but will have a response for us tomorrow after they review Zubak's article. In it, Sheriff Mikesell says, quote, "The issue, it's a private company. Why should they, taxpayers, have issues with a private company? It doesn't interfere with anything I do here at the sheriff's office." He went on to tell Zubak, quote, "No laws were broken. If they failed to get permission, that's their fault," referring to the officers or deputies under investigation. And when I spoke with Commander Jeff Kramer with the El Paso County Sheriff's Department, who oversees the Internal Affairs Division, about their investigation, which has concluded, he said that 3 deputies were punished.
We did find for at least a couple of the deputies that were involved in the investigation, there were some sustained policy violations.
Most notably, they did not submit the proper paperwork seeking permission for outside employment. That's mandatory. 2 deputies received reprimands, the other reassigned, but all are still employed with the department. As for the Colorado Springs Police Department, I also requested an interview. No comment since their internal investigation continues. But Zubak interviewed experts in ethics who believe this arrangement raises some red flags. Of particular note, some employees of the private company who work for Sheriff Mikesell at the department.
He has a commander working for him at the sheriff's office who also is on the payroll for his private business. And that would create a conflict between what's the priority for that employee.
The Teller County attorney is aware of this arrangement, but to date has never rendered an opinion and has not received a complaint. If he had, it would be sent to the State Ethics Committee for review. As soon as the El Paso County Sheriff's Office began its investigation last fall, all of their personnel involved with the company were to cease employment with Mikesell, and as a result of it, some minor changes have been implemented on that outside employment policy, most notably limiting it to 2 years, with sheriff's employees having to resubmit a request.
The policy speaks to certain types of outside employment that will not be allowed, those that have an obvious conflict of interest or could have a conflict of interest. Private security or private investigative type of work is one of those that on face value is probably not going to be allowed.
When I asked Kramer about Sheriff Mikesell running a side business, employing local law enforcement.
Rob, that's not a question that I feel comfortable answering for you. I apologize.
But El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder made it clear to Zubak where he stands when it comes to these kinds of ethical dilemmas.
He used to have a real estate license. He relinquished that long before he took office, and he would never run a private business while he was sheriff. We asked why not, and he said, because I'm never not the sheriff.
And I should add that Sheriff Mikesell told investigators he did not know if any sheriffs or police employees were working for him while on duty at their respective jobs. Commander Kramer told me that it is a common practice for deputies to have outside employment, which also includes teaching, instruction, training, and other things. By the way, you can read Pam Zubak's full article in the Colorado Springs Independent tomorrow morning, and I thank her for her help with this story.